Hey guys, this is GameGeek2 coming to you with another video. This one is a 2v2 battle I fought earlier today. As you can see, it's a pretty long video, a pretty long time for this battle. So, I'm going to be able to give quite a long in-depth detail on a bunch of aspects of this battle. And it took long, largely because we played on huge size and not because of any form of lag due to this, but because of how long it takes the units to kill each other off completely, because you get to use deeper formations, which I think provides for a much more realistic and entertaining experience, as long as you have some degree of patience. Now anyways, we actually started the battle in fairly quick time, because it didn't take us too long to set up our armies for some reason, despite the fact that the deployment zone is slanted, perhaps because of that. So anyways, I've brought here 4 classical hoplites, 4 Syracusan hoplites, 4 Rudian infantry, the Pezoi Bretioi, 4 Toxokai Kritikoi, and 2 of the Hitairoi Aspidahoroi, 1 Spartiate Hoplitai, and 1 Greek general, Somatohylake Strategou. Now I'll explain my choices right now. The reason I picked the classical hoplites is because they are the better line holders of the two troop types, because they have more men per unit of area, and as in they have a higher density. So they are able to fight enemies better straight head on, but they're much more vulnerable to getting flanked. The Syracusan hoplites are better at the end of the line because they're harder to get flanked. And behind them I have Pezoi Bretioi, who are useful because of their javelins and because they essentially function as slightly superior hostati, but a bit more expensive than hostati as well. The Aspidahoroi are because we originally planned to bring a lot of cavalry back when both of our opponents were Rome, but when Yavana joined and he became our opponent in addition to Vega, who's playing as Rome, we just decided to bring more of these skirmisher cavalry, because we were afraid of a mass missile spam, just like Yavana has done in previous battles, because we saw he had brought a lot of troops. We counted the number of troops, and I predicted a missile spam, and antisocialmunky agreed with me. Monkey brought 2 Hitairoi Aspidahoroi, and he's brought 2 Traikioi Hipeis. He's also brought 8 Peltastai, and we're going to see how these perform in the battle, because we have a lot of time to analyze that. 6 of the phalanxes, only 1 Thuriahoroi unit, and 1 Greek general. And we obviously divided up the tasks between the two of us over what to do. I brought the archers, he brought the skirmishers, he brought the phalanxes, I brought the non-phalanx infantry, and he brought more cavalry than I did. And we felt that was the most efficient way to divide the labor. And here we'll give a quick analysis of our opponent's army before we skip to the meat of the battle. So, getting a big look at Yavana's army here, we see 3, 4, 6, 7 phalanxes. He's got 2 Persian archers, a heavy Persian archer and a slinger unit, 2 Shipritikul, 3 Shipritikul, the Babylonian spearmen, 2 of the noble cataphracts, and 2 of the noble cataphracts archers. And it's a very cataphract heavy army. Again, a division of labor mainly, because we see the Romans haven't focused much on cavalry. They brought 3 units, which is more than some Roman players do, but it's about the average for Roman players these days, I'd think. Anyways, a quick note on the Shipritikul. Apparently he's actually brought 4 of them. I think these units are highly overrated for Parthia. I personally prefer the Parthohellenikoi Thuriahoroi much more, because they have javelins. And having javelins and short swords makes them a much more versatile unit on account of their simplicity. You'd think this unit would be more versatile, but their mace attack isn't incredibly powerful, and they aren't as good at line holding as hoplites are. And so they're not as good at spearmen as hoplites, and they're not as good at being AP troops as other AP troops. So overall, they're a fairly mediocre unit in my opinion. He obviously did not bring nearly as many archers as we expected. Only 3 archer units. But the Roman player has brought a lot of missiles. He's brought 1 of the Akensi, and he's brought, let's count them, 1, 2, 3 Numidian archer units. There might have been 4. No, it's 3. And so we're gonna go ahead and skip to the main action of this battle, and we'll catch up with you guys later. Alright, I decided I want to give you guys a little bit of a look at the Roman army as well, and something I didn't take an in-depth look at during the battle, which I probably should have. Anyways, we see the Samnitiki Milites and the Petites Extraordinari. We have 2 of each of those. We have a couple Hastati, and we have a main line composed of Principes, 5 of those. I would probably reverse the proportions on those, to be honest. I'd probably bring a lot more Hastati. They cost less per man, and they come in larger unit sizes. We also have Velites, and we have companion cavalry, and Brehend, and actually some pretty high quality cavalry from the Roman player. And you notice that Antisocialmunky and I are trying much more to integrate our armies, because that's something I feel is very important when you each of you two specialize when you're playing a 2v2. You have to integrate your armies in the battle, because otherwise you're not going to do well. The plan was for me to hold the Roman player, while Antisocialmunky defeats the phalanxes, and I provide support with my Bredian infantry. Later on, I also moved my Toxotai Kritikoi to counter the Roman archers over there, and because Antisocialmunky was very concerned about getting shot in the flank by my Cretan archers. I mean, by Vega's Numidian archers. And of course by Vega's slinger unit as well. One quick thing, if you notice, these Numidian archers actually have a significantly wider spacing than these Cretan archers do. And that's something I intend to remedy later on, because I think these Numidian archers will kill these Cretan archers a bit too quickly. But the Cretan archers still win the missile duel. Spoiler alert. I don't think anyone would be surprised by that. Alright, I'll skip ahead for you guys. Well, the battle, as you can see, it's almost halfway done, and we barely got closure in the missile fight. But as you can see, almost all the Numidians are dead. Most of this unit of Cretans is still alive. These 2 are mostly dead. Starting to get a fight over here. All the damage dealt over here was done by these Cretans, which have been dispersed in a long, loose formation to minimize missile damage. But the Persians have begun shooting arrows at the Peltastai instead. Luckily, not much overflow damage has been caused. And, not a whole lot of overflow damage over here. We've got like 5 to those Peltastai, a couple each to most of the Principes units. These light reserves are really being used as a reserve, I could say. They haven't really done anything to contribute to the missile duel. One thing I do here, I think, is I launch an attack against them with my archers, because they're in a tight formation. And I get a few volleys off at them, cutting down their numbers before they disperse into loose formation. But they still don't launch an attack back, and Vega retreats them. After a while, at least, he retreats them. Over here you can really see that despite these Persian archers being a big unit, they really can't do a whole lot of damage to these Cretans effectively if you space them out to looser formation because of how spread out their fire is. And this is especially pronounced at a long distance. Meanwhile, while these Cretans have taken about 60 casualties, these guys have already taken over 60 here, and 20 there. So that Cretan unit has racked up almost about 150 kills at the cost of 60 because of what formation it's in. Meanwhile, it looks like things are about to close. With Vega sending in his ammoless Numidians in for a charge. They do not fare incredibly well against my Cretans, who are far superior in melee. And you can see all that was left over from that exchange is a big pile of dead bodies. But the potential for a flank attack by archers has been averted, and I have a few small units of light infantry left over for melee engagements. And I've also done some damage to the slingers there. Things are moving forward as the phalanx starts to advance. I guess these Cretans leveled up after getting enough kills. These guys are down to 127, man. Wow. It's a lot of kills from that one archer unit. This gotta be the archer unit that racked up 524 kills by the end of the battle. One of my archer units racked up a ridiculous number of kills. I'm guessing that was it. Well, these archers seem to have gotten a bit close to Vega's lines. A couple of them seem to have gotten into a bit of a scuffle. I kept skirmish mode off for this battle, as I typically do. It's one of those peculiar institutions that I prefer for a number of reasons. Pila volley has started. It's hit my Spartiati, but it's mainly targeting the Koinon Helenon phalanx there. However, the Romans don't seem inclined